And good evening and welcome to City Focus. I'm Marty Olsen, your host, and I'd like to welcome back my friend and yours, John Russell.
Hey, Marty, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, well,
We've done this once or twice before.
At least once or twice. Over the years, John's been a good guest, good ally, and always enjoy having him on. And tonight he's actually pinch hitting, so I really appreciate him stepping up in the breach. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm batting 1,000 as a pinch hitter.
And I think we've got lots to talk about. And I know one thing that you're working on. You're working on a lot of things, but one thing that's close to your heart is veterans and military. And you got Military Appreciation Day coming up at Ocean Beach Park. So why don't you kind of enlighten our audience with what's going on?
This will be the 9th year that we've put on. I'm part of the New London Veterans Authority. And one of the things we try to do is we try to hook veterans up with their benefits, because many of them, for some reason or other, don't know what all their benefits are. So we decided to start this event at Ocean Beach. We call it Military Appreciation Day. It's going to be August 15th, and from, all day actually, 10 to 4 or so forth. And anyone active duty, anyone retired, anyone with a DD-214 and their families are welcome to the park for free that day. And we will have all kinds of vendors there. The Veterans Authority from New Haven, all kinds of different VFWs and so forth, and other groups that are there to give you an idea on what benefits are available to veterans. And there'll be other assorted vendors there too, different things. But the thrust of the day is obviously to basically honor veterans and to help some veterans get some of the benefits they need. I know my family, my father served in World War II. He was recalled to Korea, and then he went in the reserves, and he was still serving into the 80s, so he served during Vietnam. My mother was in World War II in the Navy. My brother and I both served in the Vietnam era, so my whole family was military. So this is a very, very important thing to me. And I'm really happy to be part of this organization for many years to help get veterans their benefits.
Well, one of the things that I've come down on Military Appreciation Day occasionally, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a run that culminates at the beach with Coast Guard cadets.
Thank you for bringing that up. There was a couple runs actually. One a lot of the cadets and other military run, and then there's another regular run. So they have 2 runs.
Is it one with the freshmen, or is that
well, they used to use.
They used.
Well, what happened is we used to do it with the. Right now, the Coast Guard is doing something called Swab Summer.
Yeah.
And these are the incoming class, or a year past. And we've got kicked off. Our original date was 1 week previous to this. And we've gotten kicked out because for some reason, the Pride group got the date. So this has been several years now. So we get a lot of the guys who are attending OCS classes at the Coast Guard in the summer, and others.
That's officer candidate school.
A lot of there's some Marines, Navy, all the different branches of the military will be running, and the other races for anyone. I know there's a big running group in the area called the Mohegan Striders, And we get a lot of people. I think right now we're looking at well over 100 runners in that race, and then about that number in the military race. So, and that's earlier in the day. If anybody needs any information on that, they can always call me and I can give you my number. Is that all right, Marty?
Yeah.
860-912-0417. And I will get you the information for either the Military Appreciation Day or the end of the races. And it's still not too late. Our vendor spots are free. So if you have a little thing you'd like to, promote, give me a call, 860-912-0417. And like I said, it's free. And we'll even give you parking passes to get into Ocean Beach that day. Right now we have, I think, around 40 vendors. So there's a lot of people down there that day, a lot of military with their families. It's just a nice day. And then we get at around 3 o'clock, we do some awards, and we have a couple speakers, but we keep that pretty fast. Nobody speaks for more than, I think, 6 to 10 minutes max. So I know I appreciate that.
Well, one thing that when the folks come in, do they get? The beach does offer a variety of amenities. You have the golf course and the pool, rides, arcade. Do the veterans and families, do they get any discounts, or are they on that stuff, or are they paying full freight?
Not that I'm aware of, Marty. Considering it's about what? I think for a family on the weekend, it's like $40 a carload, if I'm not mistaken. So, the beach can't eat everything, and they're being nice enough to allow us all the space and the free entry. But I believe the rides and the golf and the pool are extra. Of course, the beach is not, and the playground is not, and things like that. But yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to get a little clarity on that. But it's a good time. It's fun, and I think it's nice way to show some support and respect for those who serve and their families.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like I said, it's the 9th annual, so we've been doing it a while. We got a lot of the kinks out, and it is fun. Like the Marines are there. They have the recruiters there, right? So the Marines and the young guys are trying to do pull-ups, and they do a lot of fun things.
I was going to say, that would be a good place for the recruiters.
Yeah, it is. The recruiters go there, for sure.
Well, from what I've seen on the news, recruiting in all the services right now is exploding under the Trump administration, or under the Biden administration. Things have kind of taken a bit of a digger.
Well, and I like that. I have to credit the Navy and the schools the Navy put me through to having a career where I actually retired at 53 years old because I had done so well. And, so I can't say enough about the military and the training you can get in the military. I just think it's fantastic. As far as your comment, I think people are coming back in and they're understanding how important it is to, have a strong military.
Yeah, I think also there's patriotism is becoming more in vogue with more people.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because, one of my pet peeves, so I go to a lot of city council meetings in New London, and, I sit in the peanut gallery and listen, and in the beginning of the meeting they say a prayer and then they say the pledge. And I get very upset when, number one of our city councilmen won't say the pledge, and that really bothers me. And number two, in the peanut gallery, there's a lot of people that won't even stand up for the prayer or the pledge. And that gets on me. It gets on my nerves, considering, the family I had and the way I think it should be. I heard this thing the other day, is that when the Berlin Wall fell, nobody ran to the communist side. Well, that's the thing. You know, you look at this and you say, all right, if you ever read Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals, in his rules, one of the first rule is win the hearts and minds of the people. And what's been happening, and they take a very, very, very slow approach to this. So it's the chipping away approach. So they just chip away, chip away, chip away. And then they get where they want to go without firing a weapon. And I see that going, and I see a lot of the kids today, and the education system. Geez, back in '78, I think we had one of the top education systems in the world, and now we're way down in the middle.
As a country.
Yeah, as a country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just, it's not important anymore. I mean, being a gangster, a thug, or someone on YouTube, what do they call those guys? Influencers. Yeah, I mean, that's important. So, not making a living or making a difference or helping others. So it gets me depressed. I'm 75 now, so I look at this and I say, well, even if they do succeed with this, and that is taking us into socialism, communism, and so forth, even if they do succeed, it'll be after I'm dead. But I have a son, grandchildren, things like that, who are all going to be affected. They're going to be stuck with a $37 trillion and probably more debt, all kinds of things. And you look around.
How can there be debt when they're going to give everything away?
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's something I think about fairly often, and when I read and I see, like we were just talking on the way over here, this communist just won the primary in Michigan.
For the U.S. Senate.
For the U.S. Senate.
For the Democratic Party.
For the Democratic Party. And I listened to a press release that he put out yesterday, the day before, and he laid it right out. All undocumented people should be given driver's licenses.
Open border.
So what's that about? What's that say? Because most of the DMVs are tied to the driver's licenses, so you get to vote. I mean, I'm old school. I mean, to me, voting should be day of or absentee. That should be the only way it's done. And that they tell me, the lefties, that I'm trying to stop people from voting, that I don't want people to vote. I want everybody to vote. But if you look at the numbers, I know that in New London, right now, in our municipal and state and federal government elections, we harbor around 20 to maybe 25% of the people that come out to vote, to exercise their basic right to vote. It's scary. The apathy. I don't care, or I don't pay attention, or whatever. It's just scary to me.
I know from personal experience that every vote, in fact, does count, because in the 2013 election, I believe it was, that I lost by 2 votes.
Wow. Did they do a recount?
They did a recount, and I still lost by 2 votes. And I sat there all day as they went through all the gyrations that they had to do. So for those folks who, I forgot, I did this, I did that, everything but. And these are people who would have voted for me.
Yeah, well, you get this, oh, you should have told me. You should have told me. Okay.
I didn't have enough signs out. Maybe I needed one on your street.
Yeah, or on your steps. Yeah, it's crazy. I know that. I don't know if you want to segue into this right now or not, but or you want to go to Kiwanis stuff.
Well, we're on a roll here. Let's stay with it.
All right. So, on a number of occasions, I've run for office in New London, way back 22 years ago, I ran for state rep. It was my first foray into the jungle, so to speak. And, I didn't know. I had just met Marty, and I really didn't know a whole lot, except I knew that the guy who was, who eventually got elected, I didn't like. I thought I could do a better job than he could do. And he was a carpenter at EB, and I had military engineering and business background. So I thought I had a little more to offer in that job, and I ran against him, and I lost. And, I've run several times since then for for city council. And I won once back in 2009, and enjoyed that time for 2 years. Marty was on the same council with me. Marty, the second year, Marty got elected mayor, and I was appointed deputy mayor. So, we got to work closely together. I really enjoyed it. Actually, after I had a couple of years with working in the city, I honestly was embarrassed and ashamed that the people were so poorly represented in the city. And today, what I see, it's even worse. It's really bad. Right now in New London, there are 16 elected positions in the city, all Democrats, which wouldn't be a problem for me if they knew what they were doing. New London, as it turns out, is one of the 2 communities, maybe 3, in the state that does not have minority representation. And over the last, 3 sets of municipal elections, so 21, 23, 25, we had put together a slate of some pretty good candidates. We'd got a brilliant engineer out of EB, incredible with numbers. We have a woman who is a business owner for 30 years, and myself and a couple others who I thought would have been a really good addition, to bring another point of view to the table when they were discussing projects and budgets and things like that citywide. But, once again, I was talking about people coming to vote in the 21 and 23 elections. There's 1,400 registered Republicans in the city of New London.
That's of a city of 27,000.
300 of them voted. And we didn't just get 300 votes. We got a lot of Democrat, Independent, and so forth votes. But if another 20% had to come out, or even less, we would have had several people on city council and on the board of ed, bringing different ideas, not drinking whatever the Kool-Aid that their mayor or their board of education chairperson would tell them to do, which is generally what happens in New London. I must say that lately I've been a little happier because there's a couple of people now on the city council that push back, and the mayor now looks at this and goes, "Whew, I got to answer questions. I got to come up with why I want to do this." Doesn't always work out the way I think it should. I go and speak before council quite often. Recently, I just spoke about there's a big project getting done on Hamilton Street off of Howard in New London, where this company called Pinnacle wants to build 235 apartments. And they were discussing how much of a tax break to give them. Now I'm saying, wait a minute. EB is hiring 16,000 people in the next 2 years. They just got another $76 billion contract. Hamilton Street's 2 blocks from EB's offices on the New London side, the engineers, and you want to decide how much tax break to give them. What was on the agenda was a 20-year tax break. 20 years. That didn't start. The tax break didn't start until 2030, when this is supposed to be complete, but it might not be complete till 2032, and then 20 years. So I don't know you, I'm not going to be around in 2052. I'd be 102 years old. So they got together, an executive session came back, and they only gave them 15 years. You know, and a couple of the counselors voted against it, and I was in contact with them and going back and forth and trying to get some sense. But none of them on the council are really business people. Well, there's one woman who has a business, and another guy who has a business, but you know, besides that, they're not business people. They're teachers and accountants and things like that. Not a bad profession, but you know, when you're writing the check to pay your people, it's a whole nother way of looking at things. So I was always known as, my accountant used to say I could squeeze a nickel further than anybody she ever saw. And that's because you paid attention to details. And at the city, quite often, that goes by. So, and I don't know, I'm rambling here, Marty. Where should I go from here?
Well, I'm enjoying listening to you, but I would just like to point out that since the city changed its form of government in 2011 from a council city manager form of government to a elected mayor full-time job with a salary and city council, there's only been 3 individual Republicans to be elected to the city council in the last 15 years. Adam Spracacci had a term by himself, and I've had 2 terms by myself. Rob Pirro had 1 term on the school board.
The school board, yeah.
And that's it. Mm-hmm. That is it. And, you know, the Democrats like to discuss diversity, and they're discussing racial diversity. But diversity of thought and diversity of ideas is not part of their program. Mm-mm. And they have no incentive, I might add, to change it. I mean, you brought up minority party representation. Mm-hmm. Why would they give up, in essence, 4 seats, 2 on the council and 2 on the school board, and get, in essence, nothing in return?
Yeah. No, why would
so they don't.
No. No.
You know, and the seat that you're currently running for, because you're running for state rep again, this in the 39th district, which is districts 1 and 2 in New London, which is basically from the north end of the community up by Quaker Hill, down to what about Plant Street, I guess.
No, they've redesigned that. I meant to bring that drawing, but they. You know, you talk about gerrymandering, the way they redesigned District 3. It starts down. It starts down at Ocean Beach, down around that whole area there. Then it runs up along Pequot Avenue and goes all the way up, almost to the very end of New London. I don't know if you saw that drawing.
On the waterfront, right?
Yeah. So
that's been done by the state. I mean,
yeah, no,
it's they're so out of touch.
And they take that section. District 3 of New London, and they give it to Groton, and they call that the 40th district. So it's just bizarre. I mean, if, you know, they go by numbers usually, but 11,000 voters is a fairly small state rep. They could have easily just given all New London and made that the 39th, but they didn't. So if you vote at the high school or now at the rec center, used to be the Harbor School, you're going to vote for me or my opponent. So I made the decision, and it wasn't an easy decision to make, but I made the decision to run when I found out that the gentleman currently holding the seat had no opposition. He had no opposition. So I don't have much of an ego about winning or losing because I'm a pragmatist. I look at it and I say, well, in this district there's 11,000 registered voters and 10,000 of them are not Republican. Okay. So I look at this and I go, well, I'm going to run and I'm going to run to win, but one of the interesting things I found out was if you cross a couple of I's and, dot a couple I's and cross a couple T's, the state will give you a bunch of money. So to that end, you need to get 150 signatures from anybody in New London, 12 years old and older, and you need to raise an aggregate of $6,700. So I'm right in the middle of that. I'm doing very well. I've got at least 150 signatures already, but I want to get to 170 because,
well, someone's going to get thrown out.
Someone will get thrown out. And I'm getting close to, well, I think 6,000, 6,200, something like that. So I'll probably hit that. So what I'm going to do is when I get that money, I'm going to start a campaign with a lot of stuff to try to get into the hands of independents and Republicans in the city so that they'll better understand how they can get some different representation in the city. Because I think a lot of them just think that you can't do it, can't be done. And I'm going to show them statistically how, if they had to come out to vote on this, this election and that election, how you would have different representation on the council right now. So that's going to be a real good, strong part of my campaign because I love New London. I chose New London to live here. I've been here 55 years, came here in the Navy in 1970. And I love New London. I serve on 5 boards here in the city. I run the thrift store downtown that benefits the homeless for the last 20 years. I do all these things because of how I feel about my community. And I want the best people that we can get to run the city. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do. My friends say, come on, you're 75 years old now, just retire, go play, do this and do that. I says, I can't. I feel like I need to help. So I'm kicking it out there, working my butt off, and I'm going to try to help. So anybody who's out there wants to help me, 860-912-0417, just give me a call, and I'd be glad to have you along.
Or stop down Homeward Bound Treasures.
That's right, my store, Homeward Bound Treasures on Golden Street. I've been there, like I said, almost 20 years. It's a great spot, and I love doing it. I love doing it.
Well, you've been passionate about it, John, that's for sure.
Many years.
And if I was in that district, I would be voting for John, but I'm in the south end of the city district, so I got linked in with Groton. I've never seen my state rep. He's been in office now 2 years, and I don't know if he ever set foot in London, but...
Well, I believe he's a Democrat socialist, been told that, and a young man. Just like there's a young woman running against him.
Yeah, Isabel Rude.
Yeah, who's quite an interesting young lady. I've met her on several occasions. Just graduated from high school, but already has her own little business, and is an EMT. She works as an EMT, so she's already out there doing things,
She's out hustling.
She is, and they made some remarks about her age, but if they remember, this guy who's been in now for several terms, Baumgartner, he got elected the first time at 19.
I'll tell you something, Andre, when he ran as a Republican.
Yeah, he did.
But he worked his tail off. I mean, he worked hard. I mean, he banged on every door down the south end of the city, I think twice. And his opponent took it for granted that she was going to win and didn't put in the effort, and paid off. Andre won. He did not win re-election, and he blamed the Republican Party for him not winning, but he kind of got fat and happy that election. I thought, well, everybody knows me now, I'm going to win. And it doesn't work that way. You've got to put the effort in every election.
And then he decided to become a Democrat.
Yeah. In any event, let's shift gears here, John.
I'm shifting.
We're both members of the Kiwanis Club of New London. And I've been a member now 39 years, and John, you've been a member for, I think, over 20 now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 22.
And needless to say, we both stick with it. We both think it's a great organization, and from time to time, when things get a little ticklish, I'd like to remind our membership that do you believe in our mission? Because if you believe in our mission, we can get through all this stuff. And we do a lot of good work. We support a lot of good organizations. Our biggest fundraiser of the year is coming up next month there we go, on the 19th of September at Connecticut here in Groton. And boy, we need a little bit of everything, John. We need golfers, we need some sponsors, we need prizes, we need volunteers. So if you're looking for something to do for a good cause and the funding goes right back into the community, this is your cup of tea. And let's see, it looks like, is that your current email address at the bottom?
That is. Don't know how it got there, but I'm happy to have it on there.
So you got John's phone number, and now we got his email address, so that if you need a contact, or you can reach me at 860-271-5325, or our current club president, Ted Nelson, TJ Nelson Enterprises at 860-235-0770. Or any other club member, if you happen to know somebody, you can reach out, and we'll be glad to talk to you, get you plugged in at an appropriate place.
How many years have we been doing this tournament?
This tournament goes back, I'm going to say it's got to be at least 30 years. We had a break in there. That's why I can't say it's consecutive. We had a break of 2 or 3 years. We had one president who at the time thought that we could do better doing something different. So we, as president, we went in that direction and did that for a couple of years and got back into the golf. And it's interesting how the golf has really taken off since COVID. I mean, we were doing good with the golf.
Yeah.
But it's catapulted, almost doubling our net profit the last 4 or 5 years since COVID.
Yeah, which is great, because then we can give out more scholarships to the kids, help them along with their early college years.
Yeah. I mean, we're sponsoring key clubs in the local high schools, 4 high schools. The last 2 years, we've awarded 4 $3,000 scholarships. We do have an endowment that's able to self-fund 3 of those. Mm-hmm. And over the course of time, we've done bike safety programs, reading programs, of hands-on in nature. And we, like I said, we fund all sorts of things. We fund Kent Ward and his boxing. As an example, we Scouts, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts.
Oh, well, softball and baseball teams forever.
Down at Mitchell Woods.
Yeah, we've been here 85 years, so I don't know how long, at least 50 years you've been doing the Little League.
Yep. So we've been doing Little League, and locally we also support the Kiwanis Pediatric Trauma Institute through our New England District of Kiwanis Foundation, which we support. We support the Kiwanis International Foundation, the Kiwanis Children's Fund, and We've had 2 global initiatives.
Oh, I love those global ones.
One of them was to eliminate iodine deficiency disorders, which is a leading cause of mental retardation, as well as goiters and other thyroid type issues. And we partnered with UNICEF, and we did the fundraising for them, and then they went out and administered the program. And then we tackled the second program for neonatal tetanus. And again, we partnered with UNICEF, and being the fundraising arm, where they administered the program. And we're very proud of that. And we'll be having it August 20th, our Service Person of the Month program. So we also link in with the service, and we've been doing that. And that's a Chamber of Commerce program, and we're the host for that particular meeting, and we'll be recognizing somebody from the Coast Guard. And that's always a terrific program, and it warms your heart when you see the good people we've got serving our country.
Yes, it does. I never forget the reason I got involved with Kiwanis. Kiwanis is kids. It's all for kids. It's all about kids. Lions is all about eyesight and so forth. We're kids. So I jumped right in when I got in the club, and I started reading at daycare centers to 10 to 15 3 to 5-year-olds. And if you want to have some fun, I can tell you, go out and read to 3 to 5-year-olds. You got to be pretty good. You got to be animated. You got to be able to act out the characters. Otherwise, these kids whose attention spans aren't the longest are going to be a hard.
It's a lot of fun. We've done that at a Riverfront Children's Center in Groton. We've done that at a couple of Ballestrini's at daycare centers, one in Waterford and one in Niantic, I believe it is. And again, we've done bike safety programs. We have good people.
Yeah, we do great things.
And you're only limited by your own self. There's opportunity, and I don't know anybody who joins the organization to say, I want to be the president of Kiwanis International. Mm-hmm. But you join the club, and there must be probably some local activity that has piqued your interest. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's your friend or a neighbor that's a member, and they get you to step up and join the club, and you find your niche, what you like to do.
Yeah.
And we don't expect you to do everything. We do what you can do. And but there's opportunity for growth in the organization, and you get management skills and things of this nature. The New London Club is part of a division. Right now, I think there's 12 or 13 clubs in the division. We got a lovely young lady from Cheshire who's our lieutenant governor. Her job is to kind of oversee that collection of clubs. And then these divisions are part of, in our area, the New England district of Kiwanis, and which encompasses all 6 New England states and Bermuda. So that's kind of cool. And that's part of the international organization. So we're all over the globe, and I've had the privilege of serving as the district governor of New England 25 years ago. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, that was before I joined.
And I have to tell you that I have friends and acquaintances that I've made via different steps that I've taken in the organization. Many of them that I keep in contact with today, that is part of that, these enduring friendships. It's part of the objects of our organization that you make being in Kiwanis. These folks end up being your pals, your buddies, and people you associate with. And it's a good deal. So you can find what you'd like to do, and at whatever level, and whatever you like to put in. But like anything else, you've got to put something in to get something out. And I found, if you put in this much, chances are you're going to get this much back.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So anybody out there is interested in getting involved, we'll be actually meeting tomorrow for lunch at Lighthouse Inn at 12:15. If anybody would like to come down and say hello. Lunch would be on us.
That's true. Good deal.
So one way to screw up a free lunch is to not take advantage of it. So come on down and join the Kiwanis Club down at Lighthouse Inn.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Real good.
Yeah. You know, another special program we do annually, which is a joint service club project with the Rotary and the Lions Club.
Great. That's great.
And we're so fortunate to be here in New London and on the Thames River, but it's the annual Yale-Harvard Regatta, which is the rowing races between Yale and Harvard, which is the oldest intercollegiate athletic contest in the country. It's held right here. And recent years, we have had our annual luncheons at the Coast Guard at the Merle Smith Consolidated Club, formerly the Officers Club. And the three clubs get together and the coaches kind of give an overview of their seasons. We get a keynote speaker. And from time to time, get a chance to meet some of the rowers. And
Well, it's interesting
a lot of fun.
because, I mean, you and I and most of us, we don't know much about sculling. And so it's interesting to learn about it there. And the speakers are always very good.
Yeah,
Very
well, I've been trying to get Judge Lee Colchu in your seat. He often has been the master of ceremonies, and he puts the program on. He's a Harvard guy.
Yeah.
And he's terrific. And I don't know when he started to row, but he's a tall guy.
Yeah. A lot of them
most
are.
rowers, at least for the eight-man crew, are pretty big guys. I mean, tall
Tall and thin.
And he certainly fits the mold. But I don't know if he started when he was in a prep school guy or if he started when he got to Harvard. I don't know. I'd like to ask him that question.
There you go. Maybe one day he'll be sitting here.
So
You could take me out and stretch me a little bit, maybe.
But we've done, and we do a variety of other things that are, it's important. It's not all work. We have fun. We've had occasional evenings at the Guard Arts Center where we're going to see performances. One year we went down to New York and saw the Radio City Christmas show, and that was a lot of fun. Spend the day in New York, go to the show, and come home.
Trips to Block Island.
Trips to Block Island, which have been fun. Those are their Thursday afternoon dinner cruises.
Mm-hmm. Then we had to a social dinner once a month.
We do that as well, and
That's a lot of fun.
that's turning out to be a real winner. Because
Yeah, we did that. Yeah, we just picked different restaurants in the area.
Yeah, and most recently we were at Jasmine Thai,
The food's good there.
Downtown New London on the intersection of
Howard
and Bank.
Yeah, good food. I enjoyed that salmon dish I had.
But the thing that you understand too is that the activities that we take up and the things that we fund, it's driven by the members. So if you've got an idea, you bring it to the board and see if you can get some support and run with it. That's how we function. Kiwanis does have a few I would call kind of in the box type of programs and projects. But we are here to meet community needs. And the needs in New London are, let's say, I would speculate, different than, let's say, Westport or
Oh my goodness.
or Greenwich.
Or Darien, or yeah.
And they all have Kiwanis clubs. So, but they're meeting their community needs, and we meet ours. And I think it's important. I think it's critical too for a civil community. You need to have people giving back, and Kiwanis is I think, an outstanding way to do that.
We've been around, what, 125 years now?
As an organization, Kiwanis #1 was in Detroit in 1915.
Yeah.
So 85 plus 25 plus 1. So, yep.
And how long in New London? About 85?
We're now 86. We were formed in 1940.
86 years. It's nice to
And
be part of
contrary to
that.
popular opinion, I'm not a charter member.
You're not a charter member. That's funny. Yeah. Ugh.
So we enjoy that, and things go in cycles as well. I mean, we've done times where we have gone to ball games up when the Norwich was hosting the Norwich Navigators in particular.
Yeah.
And that was fun. Do the picnic area and go to a ball game, and we've done that also with the Connecticut Sun for a few years up at the casino. Although they'll be leaving the region now next year, they'll be down in Houston.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so it's just a matter of what our group would like to get there to do. It has been a little bit challenging post-COVID with some of our hands-on projects, especially getting into schools, because there's a level of concern, paranoia almost, that they want to keep the distance and keep anybody out of the schools that doesn't have a direct need to be there, and but we keep trying, and like I say, we do have the key clubs at the high schools. We're in Ledyard, Fitch,
East Lyme.
East Lyme, which has
Waterford.
100 kids, and Waterford.
Yeah, I mean, Kiwanis Educating Youth, right?
That's what it
That's
stands
the
for.
acronym. So you're teaching these kids to volunteer, you're teaching them leadership skills. It's really a good program. Really.
Yeah. I mean, there are some folks that would argue that if we did nothing but Key Club, that we'd be doing a good service. And we do a heck of a lot more.
Yeah. It's just, you were talking about the repartee that you get with other Kiwanian members, and they're all altruistic. They all come together. They want to help. They want to do things for their community. So you got that to start with, as a base, and then the friendships that you form over time. Marty and I, we'll get together at dinner, shoot the breeze. Both of us are sports enthusiasts, maybe Marty more so than me. And, we'll go to sporting events. And, so it's just all that came from the Fellowship of Kiwanis. And I really like that.
It's good stuff, folks. And again, our golf tournament's coming up pretty quick. I want to thank Lee Elsey, who's been promoting our tournament on his program on 94.9 FM on your radio dial every day for probably since it's been springtime. So, I mean,
and he plays too.
And he plays. He comes out, and he's like the wind, though. If you want to catch him, you gotta.
The man's gotta think about it. You get up every morning at 3, 4 o'clock I think he's on air at 6, right?
He's from 6 to 10.
I don't know.
You got to get up early. You got to get cleaned up, eat, and
I'm
get
upset
prepared.
if I have to get up at 9. I hate it.
And Lee's been kind enough to have me on as a guest for many, many, many years, once every month or 5 weeks or so, and discuss primarily New London stuff. But I may toss in a little sports stuff as well.
You know what? Drew had said you have to talk a little bit about your Red Sox.
A little bit about my Red Sox.
Well, you only have 3 minutes.
We've got just a few minutes left, but I'll tell you, the Bo Sox, a month ago, who would have thought they'd be 2.5 games behind New York? I mean, they looked like they were heading for 100 losses. They were playing and having a awful record at Fenway Park.
What turned them around?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the players. I mean, it's
I know,
not
isn't
like,
that funny? When we used to know them when we were kids, we knew them all.
And I mean, they win a game, and then you win another one. I mean, winning begets winning, as much as it's the other way as well. and they've been beating good teams. They've been beating. God, they swept the Dodgers. They swept New York 4 games. They swept the White Sox, and the White Sox are in Boston now, and they've beaten them 2 games in a row. I mean, they've beaten a lot of good teams. They had that 15-game winning streak, and that tied a franchise record. So, I mean, they've catapulted themselves into the playoff mix. They're, I think, 6 or 7 games behind Tampa, who's in first place, but they're crawling up New York's backside there. It would give me a warm and fuzzy feeling to see them move beyond the Yankees.
Well, I'm with you on that. I mean, I'm from Philly, so Philadelphia is my first team, but I've been here 55 years, so I definitely have the Red Sox as my second team, and always want them to do well. You know, for some reason, don't get upset out there. To me, the Yankees are the evil empire. And the same thing with the Dodgers out in the West.
Well, the general manager, Craig Breslow, he's a Yale guy, by the way. He went to Yale, played ball at Yale, and pitched professionally. A lot of folks were questioning his capacity and ability as general manager, but right now he's kind of looking like a
winning changes that, doesn't it?
A wizard here, and they made some end of the trade deadline deals there. They brought in a catcher from Baltimore, who everything I've read is the guy's top shelf. Been injury prone, so we'll see if he can get him on the field and he can perform. But it's more fun when your team is winning.
But also, we have football starting soon.
Yes, well, I'm looking forward to college football. I got a lineup of college games for the fall that I'm looking forward to. Well, John, it looks to me like our time has expired.
I think we're getting kicked out of the studio.
So, but I want to thank you for coming in.
Hey, it was fun. It always is, Marty.
And folks, thanks for watching. Reminder that this program is now live streamed, so you can watch anywhere on the planet live in living color. We're also on YouTube. Drew will probably have us up either tonight or tomorrow morning, and you can watch the program. And so you don't have to be on the cable system to pick up City Focus. So with that, we'll say good night. And next week I've got Adam Goss coming in. He's the head baseball coach at St. Joseph's University up in West Hartford. Thanks much. Good night.
Good night, everyone.